know what a man knows, he knows. Like, it just...
Oh, yeah, but you still got to take steps, especially when you 43 years old and when you've been married before and that seem fresh and you got children. Got to make sure that you don't just make any rash. My divorce. I'm still trying to shake off still, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm reminded in terms of having 4 children by her every day.
You still stuck?
No, I'm not stuck. I'm not even thinking about my...
You think about it every day. That's stuck, bruh.
It's more of...
I keep suggesting you going to therapy and like working with various people so you can get through that.
Oh, there's counseling.
Because that's why you're still stuck, bruh.
No.
Let me tell you something right now. What we just saw from Martell Holt might go down as one of the most puzzling, awkward, and downright unplanned moves we've seen in a long time. And when it comes from a man who has practically made chaos his personal brand, that's saying a lot. Picture the scene. He's apparently inside a furniture store. The original reason? From what we're told, he was supposedly there looking into an investment property. Nothing flashy, nothing that should have turned into a public spectacle. But instead of leaving with a couch, a table, or even a throw pillow, Martell walked out barefoot. Yes, barefoot. And here's where it gets wild. Right there in the middle of the store, among the coffee tables, ottomans, and neatly staged living room sets, he suddenly starts talking openly. No smooth delivery, no careful choice of words, no filter whatsoever. He just lays his emotions out in the open like a jumbled pile of wires, hoping somebody else could sort them. But the part that really turned heads? He wasn't alone. Destiny Payton was standing right beside him. And if you know Destiny, then you know she's not one to just stand there quietly when something's not adding up. She was watching him like it was just another Tuesday, but her eyes were already picking apart the situation. And then, out of nowhere, Martell casually mentions that he's looking at engagement rings, not for Melody, but for Ariane Curry. That's when Destiny hit the brakes hard. You could feel it through the screen. She wasn't about to let that slide without asking the obvious. The question came quick and sharp. And at home, we were all yelling at our TVs too. Martell, you're buying rings while still talking about how fresh your divorce is? How does that even make sense? That's when it all started to fall apart. Martell didn't even try to defend himself. Not really. He paused, dropped his gaze to the floor, and you could almost see the mental storm raging behind his eyes. Even though he might physically be with Ariane right now, emotionally, he's still parked outside Melody's house. The truth just dripped out of him, slow but steady. The kind of truth that doesn't need dramatic music to hit you hard. And Destiny? She stood there like an emotional plumber, trying to tighten bolts on a pipe that's been rusting for years. Now, Martell did try to spin it back into something presentable. He started listing the usual talking points. Ariane respects me, she cooks, she's loyal, she'd make a great wife. But the words didn't land. Not when, in the same breath, he admitted that the divorce still hurts, and that he thinks of Melody every time he sees his children. Those aren't just sentimental words. That's a man still standing in the wreckage of something he destroyed, pretending he's already moved into a mansion built on top of it. And of course, the internet wasted no time. It was New Year's Eve, but instead of champagne toasts, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter were on fire. People dragged him from one side of the timeline to the other. One tweet read, "You don't miss Melody, you miss the comfort she gave you." Another said, "Orion's just a tenant in your life. Melody owned the house." It was brutal, but the point was clear. Martell's attempts to cover a still bleeding wound with a fresh bandage weren't fooling anybody. Meanwhile, Melody didn't even need to say much. She simply posted a rooftop photo with the caption, "Healing never looked so good, sis." No tags, no name drops, just her, glowing in the kind of peace you only get after truly leveling up and leaving the drama behind. Martell, on the other hand, went quiet. No explanations, just a couple of gloomy selfies that all but screamed, "I messed up." But behind the scenes, things were even messier. Word is, Martell told members of the production crew that he never really thought Melody would be gone for good. He assumed she'd always be somewhere in the background, ready to forgive him eventually. But when she actually packed up, walked away, and never looked back, the reality hit him like a brick. And now, the cracks are starting to show. He's juggling reality show appearances and small brand deals just to keep things going, while Melody is thriving. Skincare partnerships, paid speaking gigs, events. She's not just surviving, she's building something. Martell's just treading water. Even Ariane was blindsided. Sources say she found out about Martell's emotional slip the same way we all did, by watching it unfold on TV. Imagine being in a relationship, thinking you're building a future together, and then seeing your partner all but admit on national television that he's still hung up on his ex-wife. Reports say she was furious, yelling, crying, threatening to leave. But we've seen this cycle before. She threatens to walk, he talks her into staying, and the merry-go-round spins again. This time, though, it felt different. Public humiliation hits deeper than private drama. It's one thing to fight in private, it's another to have the world weigh in, calling you the rebound, the placeholder, or worse, the flashlight holder in someone else's love story. And yes, the internet was merciless toward her, too. She's out here posting wife vibes while he's still crying over his ex. Martell's still living in Melody's shadow. Ariane's just holding the light. Martell's silence after the episode aired didn't help. No statements, no clarifications, nothing to calm the fire. Just carefully staged Instagram photos where the smile never quite reached his eyes. Even his own supporters started turning on him, calling him lost, selfish, and emotionally stuck. And Melody's fans? They were loud, smug, and ready with the receipts. They've been saying for years that Martell didn't value her, didn't respect her, and wouldn't realize her worth until she was gone. And now, years later, here he is, still standing in the emotional ashes, acting like a confused man who just realized he lost the best thing in his life. Some people even pointed out that he's been showing up to events alone, despite once bragging about attending with Ariane. Whether it's speaking engagements, red carpets, or even small community fundraisers, the pattern is the same. He arrives, poses for the cameras, and leaves. But those close to the show say that once the cameras are off, the energy shifts completely. No charm, no big personality, just a man sitting with his own thoughts, unsure of how to break free from the loop. And here's the kicker. Insiders claim Martell recently tried to reach out to Melody again, not directly, but through a mutual friend. He supposedly just wanted to talk. Melody didn't bite. She made it clear that her boundaries are firm. After everything, the lies, the cheating, the public humiliation, she's not entertaining recycled energy. Martell keeps saying that Ariane checks all his boxes, but it doesn't erase the problem. Melody didn't just gas him up with blind praise. She challenged him, made him earn her love, pushed him to grow. That's what's missing now. Ariane might make him feel comfortable, but comfort isn't the same as connection. It's like swapping a 5-course gourmet meal for fast food. Sure, it's quick and easy, but it doesn't stay with you in the same way. And sooner or later, you remember the difference. And the streets aren't letting him forget. Every post he makes is met with comments like, "You made a queen mistake." "She's glowing without you." "You're not building a new life. You're just playing house." The truth is, Martell's weaknesses are showing. People close to him say he's stuck, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. One minute he's grinning for the cameras, the next he's shutting down, avoiding deep conversations and dodging any mention of Melody's name. Destiny saw it too, and when she told him he needed therapy, it wasn't shade, it was a lifeline. she's one of the few who will say it to his face. Martell is emotionally frozen in time. He's trying to move forward while still clutching the past and using new relationships to patch up old wounds. Even Ariana seems to be realizing it now. She might be going along with the script, but deep down, she knows this man isn't fully here. He's haunted. Fans have picked up on it as well. Social media is full of breakdowns and comparisons. Some point out how Martell's whole energy changes when he talks about Melody compared to when he's around Ariane. Others highlight his contradictions, calling Ariane his future while still reliving the past. And behind all the noise, there's another layer: money. The influencer deals aren't flowing like before. Reality TV checks have shifted. And the speaking gigs, those aren't coming his way. They're going to Melody. People want a redemption arc, not the same messy ex with no growth. Melody is out here flourishing, being seen as a role model for women who've left toxic relationships. Martell's stuck in rewind. Yes, he loves his children. No one's questioning that. But even that love carries a sting. Every pickup, every FaceTime call, every school event is a reminder of the family he once had and lost. It's like the universe keeps playing him a highlight reel of what he destroyed. And maybe that's the part that really eats at him. Not just that Melody moved on, but that she did it with grace. No messy posts, no name-calling, no public drama. She simply elevated in silence. Now, every time she trends or posts a radiant photo, it's a reminder she didn't need him. He needed her. According to those close to him, Martell's been asking himself more what-if questions lately. He's reading old texts, replaying arguments, looking for ways he could have changed the ending. But that's not love, that's regret. And regret is the loudest voice in an empty room. So here's the real question. Will Martell keep trying to rebuild his future from the broken pieces of the past? Or will he finally face reality, heal, and start over the right way? Because you can buy a new bed, a shiny ring, or even a bigger house. But if you're still haunted by the ghost of the one who got away, it will never feel like home. And Martell? Deep down, he knows it. But for now, he's still out shopping for comfort, not peace.